what are we as a football club at the moment, and what are we as a fan base? Because, sometimes it's good to take a step back and just go, what actually is happening? Like, I don't really know what we're meant to be doing as a football club at the moment. And I bring the Sancho scenario into this. It's match day today. I bring other things as well. You know what? I very rarely do this. Erik ten Hag spoke. There's an embargoed section of his press conference that came out last night, and he's basically talking about Weghorst and Sabitzer, and basically asking for Manchester United to bring players in again. And we'll talk about that. And he also spoke about the warning signs that he predicted that we might struggle this season, which begs the question: well, why didn't we do something about it? I suppose, but. Yeah, look, I want to bring this in because I sit here as somebody that if we lose today, I will sit there, and if McTominay makes a mistake or, Varane makes a mistake, I'll say that's not acceptable, etc., etc. And I think that sort of analysis, whilst it being negative, is understandable because it's to do with a direct action on the pitch. I question at the moment what's going on in our fan base and whether the negativity actually even understands why it's being negative. I feel that, yesterday Jadon Sancho got an assist in the Bundesliga and he's cooking and we're missing him at Man United. And I'm like, so are there Manchester United fans out there that genuinely think sacking Ten Hag and bringing Jadon Sancho back is going to make us compete with the likes of Man City last night? Is that what you're saying? Or is it just that you support individuals because it suits your agenda over certain other people? I'm sort of perplexed here and confused as to what the angle is. With the Mason Greenwood situation, again, we've seen that. Oh, bring him back and get rid of that and this and that. I don't... What is it that we've become in sections of our fan base now? Do we support the team or do we support individuals? Is it about having a picture of the player on your wall? I don't really get it. And I don't really do this very often, but this just resonated with me so much today. It was I woke up this morning, and sometimes on a Sunday morning, I am quite reflectful. And I saw this tweet from at the Elite Pundit. Now, just listen to this. You might disagree with it. It might grab some points, but I thought, I couldn't have articulated this much better myself this morning. So this is the tweet. Let's talk about Sancho because the revisionism, the PR, the enjoyment in putting down United over this FIFA player and social media hype influencer is hilarious. The reality is he's flopped at Manchester United, just like Harry Maguire did, but Sancho gets positive coverage while Maguire is ridiculed. Funnily enough, Maguire actually performed for a season at least at Manchester United when Sancho hasn't done it for a month. The kid has talent, but his arrogance and lack of respect for authority will see him never fulfill it. Anytime he's in an environment where people aren't worshipping the ground, he walks on, he wants out. It's happened at Manchester United, it happened at Dortmund, it happened with Pep at City. £350,000 a week, Manchester United more than appreciated his hype and his talent, but he flopped hard. Instead of fans calling it out, you've got the usual suspects blaming it on the manager and the club. Short-sighted analysis and terrible revisionism is across the whole situation. Manchester United fans who constantly support individual players over the club will forever be a leading cause as to why no manager or any owner will ever succeed at this football club. At Real Madrid, Barcelona, Bayern Munich, the opposite is the case. You are expected, demanded to perform, regardless of the situation. At Manchester United, however, as long as you're a player that appeals to the younger generation, you will have a following online and people will back you and bad behaviour. One day, those people will understand why putting down your own club because you don't like the manager or something else to back a player like this is a lesson in growing up and how you eventually learn to be successful. You wonder why rival fans are joining in and are happy to support a flop like Sancho as well? Suddenly, the Bundesliga is levels and Sancho is showing United levels. I guess United should have re-signed Lukaku because he did well in Serie A as well after leaving United. Not like he flopped again when he returned, is it? Some of our fans need help and are delusional. Well, I don't necessarily agree with all of that, but there are parts in that absolutely just nailed it. I mean, absolutely nailed it. I very rarely do that, and I'm more than willing to do it when I see something that absolutely captivates me. And I thought, you know what, you would never get that in the mainstream because people are scared of doing it, but it's so right. And as I sit here reflectful on a Sunday morning, it's like Jadon Sancho goes to Dortmund and gets an assist. And it's like he's showing Manchester United levels. And at Real Madrid and Barcelona and Bayern Munich, these players get kicked out. Pep Guardiola kicked out Sancho. Man City had Sancho first. Pep didn't want him. I wonder why. He had problems at Dortmund. I find Dortmund hilarious, by the way. Oh, he never caused us any problems at Dortmund. We don't know what the problem is. Do you want me to go and search and in 5 seconds I'll find 4 or 5 articles about Sancho being late, about quotes from Sancho, about, feeling that he was a bit, treated badly and dropped. It's revisionism. That's what it is, pure and simple. But look, I wish him all the best. I hope he builds his career out. I think he's a good player. But what is dragging this football club down is exactly what that article said. These Manchester United fans who basically are championing a player over the club and over what we're trying to build out. And instead of fans calling out somebody that hasn't delivered, let's turn it on to Erik Ten Hag. And it's true as well. Maguire's been ridiculed. I've got on Maguire's back for not being good enough, but at least he's had a season or so where he's actually delivered and shown that he's probably not quite good enough. But this support of individual players over the club will forever lead, like it says, to a situation where Manchester United don't succeed. And I asked the question this morning, if you are pro Sancho or you are pro an individual player like Rashford or Bruno or whoever over the club, what is it you expect to happen? What does the pro Rashford fan expect? What does the pro Sancho fan expect? What does the pro Bruno fan expect? What do you think is going to happen if you sack Ten Hag and bring Sancho back, or you sack Ten Hag and you put Rashford as captain down the middle, or you stick with these players for years and years and years? What is it that you think those players do? Does it get you excited because of what they post on Instagram? Is that what it is? Is it just like Brad Pitt? You just admire them and love them as individuals. Is that what it is? Because team sport's about teamwork. Winning is about what Man City are doing and what Liverpool are trying to do. These players are not Manchester United players. I mean, I saw Gary Neville last night. Jadon Sancho got an assist against Dortmund. Gary Neville just quote tweeted it with laughing. Now, I don't even know what Gary Neville means there, because he liked to post when Man United said that Sancho was leaving to go to Dortmund. He liked to post when Ten Hag said, you've got to be a certain type of personality to be a Man United player. But then he does a laughing quote about Sancho scoring. Now, Gary Neville can do what he likes, but I'd be interested in his opinion as to whether he's laughing because Sancho's gone to Dortmund and scored and he's fanboying Sancho, or he's laughing because he's got an assist against a crap team in the Bundesliga. And that's what I mean. It's just all a big joke. But if you want to succeed, it's not a joke. It's not a joke at all. I don't know what people want. There's people I respect on social media last night saying, Sancho, we've always got your back. Hopefully you'll be back here when Ten Hag's gone, cooking. And I'm like, cooking what? Cooking a lasagna? Like what's he going to cook? He's had 2.5 years to cook. I don't think he's got the personality for it. I don't think he should be brought back. I think it'd be a major risk in my opinion. But what's he going to cook? What have we been cooking? What are we cooking? I'd rather smell what The Rock's cooking than what Sancho and co are cooking. I don't know what they're cooking. What are they cooking? It's not like they've had 2.5 years. I don't really understand. I think there are elements in our fan base that realistically have a voice and gob off about individualism and Ten Hag being a negative and Sancho and other players being a positive. I'd like to sit them down and say, what's your plan? What is your plan? If I said to you, you're in charge of Manchester United, you're going to bring Sancho back, you're going to bring Greenwood back. How are we going to win the league with these players? What's going to happen to make them consistent? Erik Ten Hag, with Sancho, sent him to Amsterdam with coaches that he knew to get him back. He gave him opportunities and he doesn't turn up for training. Are you going to just say, don't turn up when you like, mate? You're still in the team. I don't know, like, what it is. Are we just got certain elements of our fan base that are thick? Or have we got certain elements of our fan base that are, genius and seeing something we're not seeing? Or have we got certain elements of our fan base who actually just don't care what Man United do anymore? They just want to stir up trouble. I want Manchester United to compete with Man City. I want Manchester United to compete with Liverpool. And I think that you've got to, as I said on Friday night, you've got to crack a few eggs to make an omelette. You've got to go to Jadon Sancho and say, get out of my football club. It's not nice. It's not nice. But you know what? It's competitive sport. I've been sacked from a job. I'm sure you've not got a job. It's not nice. But it's meant to make you realise you weren't good enough. Goldbridge, that's the end of the clip. I'm sure you enjoyed it. In fact, I bet that's the best clip you've ever watched. So there's no reason not to subscribe to the channel, click the bell icon so you never miss a clip again. In fact, smash a like on the video because we all know only legends like videos and you are all legends. So please smash a like on the video and we will see you again on the next one. Thank you very much for watching as always.